Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing amazing. So today we are going to start with our CMSL revisions. I hope you all are studying very well and your preparation is going amazing. So everybody, those who are watching it live, please drop me a message in the chat box and let me know if I am properly visible and audible to all of you so that we can start our today's session of CMSL revision. And I'm so excited today because this is something which has been requested to me by most of the students, and I received the messages from lots of you for CMSL notes and CMSL revision lectures. So trust me guys, you just stick with me and you're going to be very confident in this subject called CMSL. And basically I'll give you a few information about this revision series, that this revision series is properly exam oriented. We will study from the exam point of view all the important topics, which are, we will do ABC analysis also, topics which are most important for your examination, and from which lessons you can expect most of the weightage. And at the end of this particular session we'll be also doing practical questions series, because practical questions also covers around 10 to 15 marks weightage in your CMSL examination. I can see a lot of people in the chat box. Yes, a lot of people are watching it live. Everybody just drop me a quick message in the chat box, everyone. Yes, hi Rakshita, hi Priya, hi Amulya, hi Pradyumna, hi Prajwal, hi Anand. How are you all? How are you all? It's so good to see you all after so long. Yes, everybody, everybody, I want, see, this revision series, I want you to make most out of it. And for that, the most important thing is for you to participate. No matter how introvert you are, just drop a message in the chat box. I want to see every one of yours name in the chat box. Everybody drop a message in the chat box. Yes, hi Darshan, hi Prajwal, hi Chandan, everybody. Yes, Prajwal is fine. Great. Good afternoon, Rakshita. Okay, I want everybody of you to drop a message in the chat box before we start our CMSL revisions. Amulya, it's very good to see you, ma'am. It's very good to see you too. Keshav, hi Keshav, how are you? Vinita, hi Vinita. Yes. Uh, who else is watching? Who else is watching? Quickly drop me a message in the chat box. Hi, Sketch by Payal. Hi, Sanjana. Hello, everybody. So I can see your excitement there in the chat box. And guys, so let me give you a few details about our CMSL revisions. This CMSL revision is going to be a chapter-wise revision. We will revise one by one all the chapters of your CMSL. So we'll be starting with our lesson number 1. So we'll go like proper lesson wise, lesson 1, and then lesson 2, lesson 3, and then so on. So first we'll be completing your part A revisions, which is not very difficult, and part A, basically it is concise and short as compared to part B. so we can complete part A revision in the least time possible. And yes, everybody, and most important thing, most of you said, ma'am, CMSL material is very bulky, how to revise this? Trust me guys, if you have already gone through your CMSL material, then these short notes are going to be very helpful for you for revising your subject called CMSL. Hi Vandana, hi Alicia, hi Yulak, hi Aditya. Yes, okay, good afternoon everybody. So today, as we all know, without further ado, let's start with our today's revision series, and we'll be starting with your lesson number 1, basics of capital market. Okay, so if you start this particular lesson, the first topic that you see is your what is financial market. What is it? Is it like a vegetable market? Just like in a vegetable market you can buy and sell vegetables, financial market is a marketplace where anybody like people, government, companies, they can buy and sell what? They can buy and sell financial instruments like shares, bonds, commodities, currencies, anything. You can purchase and sell. It's like a sabji mandi of shares, debentures. So here anybody, and this market where anyone, any public government can buy and sell. Basically, they can trade in financial instrument, they can trade in shares, bond, that is known as financial market. If this definition comes in your examination, you can easily slay in this definition by writing these particular pointers, that financial market is a marketplace where people, government, companies, they can buy and sell any shares, debentures, bonds, commodities, currencies, etc. So basically, in short, we can say it is a place where securities are bought and sold. Very easy, ma'am, settled in our brain. So the next topic that you have to do from your examination point of view is functions of financial market. Now, ma'am, functions of financial market. What are the functions of financial market? It's a very important question from your examination point of view, plus it can give you easy 4 marks in your examination. So lot of functions are given here which we already know. So basically the first function of financial market is it collects saving from the household and direct them in most productive uses. Imagine Soumya has some 1 lakh rupees saving. What she will do with that? If you will keep it in your pocket, after 10 years it will be same 1 lakh. But if you invest it in the stock market, in the financial market, you can double and triple your money. So what happens in financial market? It helps you to mobilize. Mobilize means move your savings from household to companies. I have extra saving, Reliance need that money, I can invest that money in Reliance and I can get returns. It's a win-win situation. So it helps you mobilize and channel your savings, means move savings from individuals to the companies. Price discovery, who decides share price? Not you, not me, not government. It is the demand and supply which happens through this particular financial market. So it helps in the discovery of price of shares, debentures and all the securities. Provides liquidity. Bro, I have shares, I have 100 shares of Reliance. Where can I sell those shares? In the financial market, in the secondary market. So I can convert it into cash if I need money. So it provides liquidity, means investors can easily sell their securities to convert them into cash. Next is basically your facilitate exchange, which we already know. Exchange means buying and selling of shares, which is your financial asset, shares, debentures. It facilitate exchange means it facilitates buying and selling of financial assets. Financial assets means shares and debentures. And the last one is your cost reduction. What do you mean by cost reduction? Cost reduction, basically this particular financial market regulated by SEBI. It provides you all the information about all the companies and all the stocks and all the assets. So it provides all the information about the securities which helps in cost reduction. So these are the easy 5 functions of financial market. Ma'am, very easy to remember. Mobilize and channelize savings, price discovery, provides liquidity, facilitates exchange, cost reduction. Can we make a memory technique? Yes, my aunt punched little evil clowns. Oh my God, your aunt is so dangerous, ma'am. Okay, I am not dangerous. My aunt is dangerous. I can't do anything. My aunt punched little evil clowns. M for mobilize, P for price discovery, L for liquidity, E for exchange, and C for clown, C for cost reduction. This is your memory technique. Acha, I want you to just stare at this particular functions of financial market because this is going to come again. Yes, it is like that particular fake friend of yours who don't leave you. So this will not leave you. This will come again. So I want you to look at it. 5 functions of financial market. In order to make most out of this revision series, you have to repeat along with me, keep shouting, keep speaking, even if your family members get irritated. So keep speaking and speak this 5 financial functions of financial market with me. And if you're clear with it, drop all right in the chat box. Drop all right. I want to see all right in the chat box so that you can increase my enthusiasm, which can increase your enthusiasm, which can improve your results. So it's a win-win situation. I want you to drop all right in the chat box. Yes, everybody. I want you to drop all right in the chat box. Everybody. Yes. I want you to drop all right in the chat box. Every one of you. Those secret watchers who have not sent a single text message till now, I want to see all right from you. Yes, all right. Tejaswini, Amulya, Aditya, Pradyumna, Rakshita, Priya, Prajwal, everybody is all right. Okay, you loves all right. So with this, can we move towards next topic? Yes, we can. So guys, now if you come to types of financial market in India, which is again a very easy marks giver, and don't think that only difficult question will come. Your question paper is going to be a mix of easy and difficult question. So types of financial market, there are 2 types of financial market: money market and capital market. Imagine money market as a short term market. If the words are not clear, I can zoom it for you. I hope it is clear now. Yeah, it's clear now. So types of financial market in India, the first one is money market and the second one is capital market. Money market, you can imagine as it as something which is, oops, oh wait, yeah. So money market is something which you can imagine as a short term market where you can borrow and lend money or you can invest for short term. Short term means you can say within a year or less than a year. Okay. So if you want to invest money for short term, within a year, you can invest in money market. If you want to invest money for long term, like a medium or long term for more than a year, then you can invest in capital market. Now guys, as we all know, this your subject called capital market. Capital market is regulated by SEBI, guys. Your capital market, this is your whole subject that we are going to study. It is regulated by SEBI. On the other hand, when we talk about money market, guys, money market, because it deals with the short-term funds, which is very risky. In that particular case, it is regulated by not only SEBI, but also by RBI. And mostly, money market is regulated by RBI. So money market is regulated by RBI and SEBI. Capital market is regulated by SEBI. Now, if you talk about the nature in transaction, yes, usually in money market, there are small number of people buying in large amount. Like let's say one big player or one big investor is buying in crores. So a small number of players buying large amount, but in capital market there are large number of people, millions and billions, and that's what government wants. Government wants more and more people to invest in capital market. Government wants to promote it, and it is getting promoted. People are investing in capital market, so there are large number of players. Instrument, very good difference between money market and capital market. What are the instruments in capital market? Ma'am, we already know, ma'am. Shares, debentures, stock, bonds. Usually, when you buy and sell shares, debentures, stocks, bonds of any company, it comes under capital market. So you can buy, and when you buy and sell shares, debentures, it is done through capital market. It is known as capital market. But there are some short-term instruments where you can invest for less than a year. For example, TVs, not that TB, treasury bills, commercial paper, CP, not Connaught Palace, certificate of deposit, COD, not cash on delivery. So TBs, CPs and CODs, these are the instruments in which you can invest for less than a year, and that's why they can be done through money market, which is regulated by RBI mostly. So next is why money market? It helps in monetary policy. Monetary policy deals with your overall government monetary policy. So it helps in monetary policy. Okay. Yeah. And capital market is also known as barometer of the economy. Barometer means something which measures something. So if you want to measure your economy, how's your economy doing, then you can check that through capital market. So if our, overall we say Indian market is going up or Indian market is going down. So if we say Indian market is going up, so we basically judge our Indian economy. So it is dependent on a lot of factors. One of the factors is capital market. So on the basis of market, we decide how is our economy doing, how is our country doing. If the market is going up, country is doing good. If the market is going down, country is doing bad. So it is known as barometer of the economy. It can come as a question. What kind of question can come from this? Capital market is also known as barometer of Indian economy. Explain. They can simply give you a statement that capital market is also known as barometer of Indian economy. Full stop. Explain. So these kind of explain or simple statement questions can come in your examination, where you simply have to explain about capital market. You can give these pointers about capital market, and you can explain how they are the barometer of Indian economy. Okay. Now there are two types of capital market, primary and secondary, which we are going to study in the next slide. And what is the risk? Of course, in money market, money is invested for short term, less than a year. So the risk is low. And in this case, the risk is high in the case of capital market. And return on investment, low risk, low investment. And in capital market, high risk, high investment, high return on investment. Risk hai to, I hope you complete this particular statement. Risk hai to, yes, you are right, ishq hai. So if there is high risk, then high return on investment. It's very easy to particular catch up with this particular functions of financial market, that is money market and capital market. Yes, money market and capital market. Once again, quick revision. Money market short term, capital market long term. Less than a year, more than a year. Regulated by SEBI, regulated by RBI and SEBI. Instruments, shares, debentures, bonds, etc. Instrument, TBs, CPs, CODs. Okay, low risk, low investment, high risk, high investment. It helps in monetary policy. It is known as the barometer of the economy. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good till now? Are we good to move towards next slide? Drop all right in the chat box. Acha, not all right. All right is boring now. Drop okay, madam, in the chat box. Okay. Drop okay in capital in the chat box. Okay in the chat box if you're good till now, and we are good to move towards the next slide. Everybody. Yes. Everyone, are we good? Drop okay in the chat box. Yes, Pradyumna, I'll send it in the group right after our lecture. Yes, drop okay in the chat. The Priya is like, okay, very long, okay. Okay. So now, capital market, as we all know, it is also known as securities market. Now, what is the need of capital market and what are the functions of capital market? And if you can recall something, nostalgia, yes, this is same what we already studied. Guys, don't you think we already studied functions of financial market? My aunt punched little evil clowns. Same to same in my language, shame to shame. Okay, so my aunt punched little evil clowns. Remember, mobilize. It helps to mobilize your savings. It helps in discovery price. It provides liquidity to sell your assets. It facilitates exchange of a financial asset, that is shares and debentures. Do you remember these functions of financial market? So if the question comes on functions of capital market, you can just write the same answer, because capital market and financial market are one and the same. So it's like buy one, get one free. Really? Yes. So what are the functions of capital market? First, it mobilizes savings into investment, copy, paste. It facilitates discovery of price. It provides liquidity. Oh, I forgot to highlight the word liquidity here. Okay. It provides liquidity. It facilitates buying, selling, or exchange of securities, and lastly it facilitates settlement of transaction. Through stock market we settle transactions. We do settlement means transfer money from one person to another, transfer money from buyer to seller, and transfer the shares or securities from seller to buyer. So it facilitates buying and selling and facilitates settlement. Even if you close your eyes, you can write these points from your own way. Again, many students ask me, ma'am, do we need to write like all the points as it is from the material? The answer is no. No, you are not a mind reader or photogenic memory. You don't have photogenic memory that you can remember everything. What you can do, you can understand the concept, you can learn the basic keywords like liquidity, like price discovery, like mobilize, and you can frame your sentence on your own, but make sure the meaning is correct and clear. So it's not necessary that you write the exact same work. You can reframe this in your own language without changing the meaning of the same. Okay, got it, ma'am. Now, what is the need of capital market? You know what? Buy one, get one. Remember, I said you this functions of capital market will not leave you. So, if the question comes on need of capital market, then the answer is going to be same. Why do we need capital market? Because it helps you to mobilize your savings into investments. If I have savings, I usually prefer stock market to invest my money or mutual funds. If there is no stock market or mutual fund, I cannot imagine putting all my money in FDs. That will be horrible. It's safe, but it does not give you that return now. So it helps to mobilize your savings. Mobilize means move your savings and make it into investments. It is a good source of investment. For me, the best source of investment is stock market. That is capital market. It promotes overall country's growth. More and more people will invest in stock market. It will promote country's growth, economic growth. It will support technological advancement, and you can see where we are today. AI, god, technological advancement. Somewhere capital market is also a contributor, to for this technological and advancement, and today we are in the epic of technological advancement. It helps in risk management and improve corporate governance. Corporate governance means complying everything in the true and letter spirit in a good way, because SEBI is our regulator, so SEBI makes sure that everyone maintains corporate governance. So these are the importance of capital market. Yes, so basically functions of capital market will come. You can write the same points of functions of financial market which we studied in the first page. And regarding need of capital market, these are basic points. You can learn just few points like mobilize saving into investment. It is a good source of investment. It helps in economic growth. It helps in technological growth. It helps in corporate governance. Just these basic points. That's why we need capital market. Are we good till now? Are we good? Are we good? Yes. Okay. If we are good, drop high in the chat box. High. If you're high in energy, if you are high in energy, if you had your lunch like me, please drop high in the chat box. Everybody, yes, everybody, drop high in the chat box if we are good to move towards next page or the next slide of this particular lesson, capital market and securities law. Everybody drop high in the chat box. Acha, now I want to see high from those people who have not messaged till now. Now I want to see some new name. I'm like bored of new names. Don't take it personally. No, I'm just kidding. I want to see some new names in the chat box. Hi, Anushka. Yes. Okay. Great, 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 great. Hi, Vidya. Everyone is high. Priya, Rakshita, Chandan, Tejaswini, Vandana. Great. Okay. So we are ready to move towards next slide, which is difference between primary market and secondary market. Okay. So I'm not getting if this is clear to you, or should I zoom? Just let me know in the chat box. Should I zoom it, or how much should I zoom it? If I zoom it this much, is it clear? I hope the text is clear to you. Make sure that your YouTube settings resolution is in high. Okay. High resolution. Okay, great. So without further ado, we are starting our next topic, that is difference between primary market and secondary market. Primary market and secondary market. It's like selling new products and it's like selling second hand products. Imagine a new car showroom where you can buy a new Hyundai car. That is a primary market. Imagine OLX where you can buy second hand car which is already purchased by someone else and which is already used by someone else, and that is your secondary market. Okay madam, this much is clear. It's a new market to buy and sell new securities, and it's a secondary market to buy and sell those securities which are already issued earlier. It's like a second hand security. Okay everybody, meaning, what is the meaning of primary market? It is a market for, I should change the color, yeah, issue of new securities by company or government, such as shares or debentures or securities. Shares or debentures or securities. So primary market is a market where companies issues shares for the first time, debentures for the first time to the public. So we issue basically new shares for the first time, new securities. We issue new securities for the first time to the public. Who can issue? Anybody, like usually companies or governments. So if companies issues new shares, then that market is known as primary market. Okay, so let's say Reliance is coming up with an FPO, further public offer, and Lenskart ka IPO recently came. Yes, how many of you subscribed that IPO or applied for that IPO? Let's say Lenskart is coming up with IPO for the first time, and I applied for Lenskart IPO. I bought shares directly from Lenskart, directly from company, that is primary market. Now I have Lenskart ka shares. Now I don't want it anymore. I want to sell it. I need some money. So I'll go to secondary market and I'll sell those shares to some Raju from UP in the secondary market. So what is secondary market? Secondary market is the market for buying and selling on securities that have already been issued by the company. So it's a basically market for second hand products. Those shares which are already issued by company, now you can exchange it among yourself. In the primary market, one party is company and one party is the subscriber. I am purchasing shares directly from the company, but in the secondary market, public are buying and selling among themselves. Company is not involved here in the secondary market. I hope this is clear to you all. Who are parties to transaction? In the primary market, investor uh, purchases directly shares from the company. So who are the parties to transaction? Parties to transactions are investors and company. But in the secondary market, investors purchase and sell among themselves. One investor purchase from another investor. Okay, how does fund flow? Fund flow means money. How does money flow? Money flow from investor to company. I purchase share from company, I give money to company. In this, fund flow from one investor to another. I purchase share from another investor, so I give money to him. Utilization of fund. Now, fund received by company become the capital of the company. Guys, since you are commerce student, you know share capital very well. You know share capital of the company. So the funds received by the company becomes a share capital of the company. So when anyone purchases the shares of the company and invest money, that is known as share capital of the company. And here funds received become the income of another investor. One investor, yeah, sorry, yeah, one investor purchases from another investor and then it becomes the income of another investors. Okay, now price. Who decides the price? So in this particular case, price is mentioned in the prospectus. At what price we will be issuing our shares, it is mentioned in the prospectus. When company comes up with the IPO or FPO, then price is mentioned in the prospectus. In secondary market, price is determined by demand and supply. According to demand and supply, price fluctuates. Price keeps on changing every second. We have watched stock market in our classes. Yes ma'am, yes, we have watched stock market in our classes, and we have seen that when the market is open, every second price fluctuates. Okay, yes madam. Next, primary market is also known as new issue market, and secondary market is also known as after issue market. Next is interrelation. It creates a merchandise for secondary market and it promotes the growth of primary market. Basically they are interrelated to one another. If there is no primary market, there will be no secondary market. If you sell first time, then only you will be selling second hand, right? So it creates merchandise for secondary market, because if there is no primary market, there will be no secondary market. And the last one is, who are major intermediaries of primary market? Underwriters, merchant bankers, because they help in IPOs. They help in public issue. Who help in public issue? Underwriters, merchant bankers. They are the intermediaries. And who are the intermediaries here? Brokers, DPs, etc. Because when you want to sell your shares in the stock market, you need to open your demat account and trading account with brokers and DPs. So these are the intermediaries here. So you can just keep staring at this particular topic, primary market and secondary market. Once again, everyone, once again, quickly. It is a market where new shares are issued, new securities are issued. It is a market where shares are bought and sold which were already issued earlier. Here, company sells to investor. Here, one investor sells to another investor. Okay. Now here, fund flow from investor to company. Here, fund flow from one investor to another investor. It is also known as new issue market. It is also known as after issue market. So if your question comes, let's say, explain after issue market, don't get confused. They are simply asking you to explain secondary market, because secondary market is also known as after issue market. Who are the intermediaries here? Underwriters, merchant bankers, etc. Here, brokers, DPs, etc. Are we good? Acha, in case of any doubt, you can drop it directly in the chat box. Only I'm having my eye on the chat box. So if you are having any kind of doubt or any confusion, you can drop it in the chat box. And if you are understanding everything and you are able to recall everything, drop what? Drop amazing in the chat box. Amazing is one of my favorite word. I keep using it again and again. So drop amazing in the chat box. Drop amazing in the chat box. Okay. Drop amazing in the chat box. Everybody, if you are understanding everything. Yes, if you are a Yeshas student, I'll send this particular PDF in the Telegram group. If you're not a Yeshas student, you can text me personally in Telegram, Instagram, anywhere, and I'll send you the PDF of this particular notes. Yes, drop amazing in the chat box, everybody. Everybody, drop amazing in the chat box. Oh, yes, I can see a lot of amazing. Teju. Yes, Pradyumna, Amulya, Prajwal, Priya, and a lot of people are not texting. Maybe I should call you right now. But yes, I can see you. Yes, I can see you. Drop amazing in the chat box. Those who have not texted till now, drop amazing in the chat box. Vandana, yes, okay. So we are good to move towards our next slide, which is basically that topic, that initial topic of capital market is done, and now we are good to start with our participants of capital market, which is another important topic, which is easy also, you can say. So we are going to start next topic, that is participant of capital market, that is Q, and the first participant of capital market is QIB. Keshav is asking, ma'am, if we invest for short term in stocks, will it be capital? Yes, it will be capital market. Basically, the intention is key. You can invest, people do intraday trading also in the stock market, right? It is a capital market, but the intention is they offer you long term period also, where you can invest for long term also. You can invest for years also. But the money market is something where you can't invest for long term. They have a deadline like 90 days. It will get liquidated in 90 days. You have to sell it in 90 days. Are you understanding? So yes, you can invest for short term also, but basically the main intention is it gives you that flexibility that you can invest for long term. Keshav, I hope your doubt is clear. Hi Payal. Yes, I got to know. You are Payal. Yes, everybody, I want to see amazing in the chat box. I want to start next topic QIBs only after I see amazing from all the 40 people watching the lecture, 41 in fact. So from all the people watching this lecture, if I'll start the next topic only if I see amazing in the chat box. Yes. Okay, so the next topic that we are going to do is QIB. QIB. QIB, because we invited B. That's why BI. Okay, bad PJ. But Coming back to this topic, QIB. Okay. So, participants of capital market means which all people are basically involved in capital market, or they are the part of capital market. And the first one is QIB. Now, let's understand QIB as a big investor. They are big investor. Big investor matlab they don't invest in like 1 crore, 2 crore. They invest in 100 crores, 1000 crores, like that. Huge investors, which people like us retail investors, we can't do that, such a huge investments. Okay, so they are like big investor. Understand them as a big investor. Now, usually now they are in the form of, usually they are in the form of large institutional buyers. They are also known as what? Large institutional buyers. I need you to memorize this particular word. If the question from QIB will come, you need to write this. What? They are large institutional buyers. Institution matlab they are in the form of some company or some institution. And large buyer means they buy in bulk, they buy in huge amounts. Okay, so they buy securities in bulk. So they are the large institutional buyers that buy security in bulk, and it is in the form of institution, not individual. QIBs are never a human being. QIBs is mostly a company or an institution, right? Let's example who can become QIB. Let's say bank or insurance companies or mutual funds. They are QIBs. They are the institution who buy shares in the company, who buy securities in the company in large amounts and in large quantities in bulk. Okay, example, mutual funds. Mutual fund invest in companies in huge amounts, and you know they are the expert in investments. They do thorough research, detailed research and analysis before deciding in which company to invest. So QIBs are expert in investments. They are financially knowledgeable. They have complete knowledge about investment, about companies, and they do thorough research to invest in stock market. They do thorough research to invest in stock market, meaning it's not like if QIB is investing in any company, then that company must be good, like good. QIBs don't ऐसा आंख बंद करके ऐसा invest in any company. No, they do proper research before investing in any particular company. So basically they invest in large amount, this we already know, and they collect large amount of money from small investors and invest collectively on behalf of them. Men, what do you mean by this? Do you know mutual fund? Do you know mutual fund? Yes, we know mutual fund. So what is mutual fund? Imagine there is a mutual fund. Okay, so now mutual fund collect money from lakhs of machhars. Machhars matlab, sorry, machhar means lot of small chindi public investors. So these are like lot of small public investors. They invest small amount in mutual fund, and mutual fund collects money from crores of people, from lots of people, and then that money they invest in companies. That so mutual fund is a type of QIB. So why mutual fund is a type of QIB? Because it collects money from small people who cannot invest by themselves, so they can collect their money in a mutual fund, and then mutual fund can invest that money in any particular company by doing thorough research, detailed analysis, and after checking whether this company has a growth potential or not. Okay, so what we see here, these QIBs, they are a institution. They collect money from people and then invest it in the company. Okay, so they collect large amount of money from different people, from small investors like you and me. Imagine a bank. Okay, imagine a bank, HDFC Bank, or imagine a mutual fund, Axis Mutual Fund. Axis Mutual Fund is collecting lot of money from people like us. Okay, and Axis Mutual Fund is investing that money in Reliance. So this is a QIB. I hope it is clear to you. And lastly, they are registered with SEBI under SEBI QIB regulations. So SEBI have a separate regulations for QIB, which is SEBI QIB regulations. I hope all the points about QIB are clear. Very easy to write from the examination point of view. Just 4 points. Just 4 points, guys. If questions from QIB will come, I'm pretty sure you can definitely write. First point, everybody. They are large institutional buyers. They buy securities in bulk and they are in the form of institution. They are experts. They are financially knowledgeable and they do thorough research before investing. They invest in large amount. Now, that large amount, from where does it come? They collect money from small investors and then invest in large amount, and they are registered with SEBI. I hope you can learn. I just wish it was an offline class so that I can just pinpoint any one of you and ask you to tell all the 4 points. But I can't do that right now because it's a virtual class. But imagine I'm doing that. Imagine I'm asking these 4 points to you right now and just start answering. Imagine I'm standing in front of you and just start answering these 4 points about QIB. I'd be very happy if you can tell all these 4 points without looking in the material or in the board. Okay. So the crux, they are large buyers. They invest in huge amount. They collect money from small investors. They are experts. They do research and they are registered by SEBI. Arth, Aita, everybody. Now, one more point about QIB. One more point about QIB. Who can become QIB? Oh my God. Who can become QIB? So basically, these people can become QIB. Some funds are there. Okay, so if you see, mutual fund can be registered as a QIB, venture capital fund, alternate investment fund, foreign venture capital investment fund, provident fund, pension fund, but only those provident and pension fund who have the minimum corpus of 25 crores, who have the minimum corpus of 25 crores, national investment fund, scheduled commercial bank, NBFC, non-banking financial company. SI means systemically important NBFC. Public financial institution, multilateral and bilateral financial institutions, insurance fund, insurance company, SIDC, State Industrial Development Corporation, and lastly FPI, foreign portfolio investor. So there's a memory technique to remember all the points, and the memory technique is, you are going to like it, FBI cuddles FPI. Now don't just go into your imagination, just come back here. FBI cuddles FPI. So F stands for funds. So you have some 7 points with respect to funds. B stands for banks and FI. So you have some 3 points relating to banks and FI. I stands for insurance. So you have 3 points with respect to insurance. And cuddles, C stands for corporation, which stands for SIDC. FPI, last point is your FPI. So FBI cuddles FPI. Oh, very easy to remember, ma'am. FBI cuddles FPI. Who can become QIB? FBI cuddles FPI. F for funds. Which all funds? You can just pinpoint certain funds. Mutual funds, venture capital. Try to learn. Mutual funds, venture capital fund, alternate investment fund, FVCI, provident fund, pension fund with a minimum corpus of 25 crores. You have to speak along with me wherever you are, at your home, at your office, library, not library. You have to speak along with me, okay? National investment fund. These are funds. Next, banks and FI. Say banks, banks, NBFCs, and public financial institution and multilateral bilateral financial institution. Banks, NBFCs, public financial institution, multilateral bilateral financial institution. Insurance, say 3 points. Insurance fund set up by Army, Navy, Air Force. Insurance fund set up by Department of Post. Basically, government insurance fund. These are government now. Navy, Air Force, Department of Post. So insurance fund set up by Army, Navy, Air Force. Insurance fund set up and managed by Department of Post. Third is your insurance company. And lastly, SIDC and FPI. I hope it is easy to remember. I want you to remember and just shout out all the people who can be registered as a QIB. So these people, imagine banks, insurance companies, mutual funds, NBFCs, these people, when they collect money from public and then they invest in the stock market, they can register with SEBI as a QIB. Who can become QIB? Very easy, 5 marks. Very easy, 5 marks in your examination, guys. Who can become QIB? 7 funds, 4 banks and FI, 3 insurance, and then SIDC and FPI. Your memory technique is FBI cuddles FPI. Okay, try to remember this. Are you able to remember this? If you are able to remember, who can become QIB, then drop what? Drop, ma'am, learned in the chat box. Drop learned in the chat box. If you are able to learn all these points of QIB, drop learned in the chat box. Everybody, drop learned in the chat box. Okay, one last time. Who can become QIB? Close your eyes and tell me, ma'am, who can become QIB? 7 funds are there. FBI cuddles FPI. F for funds. Mutual fund, VCF, AIF, venture capital, AIF, FVCI, foreign venture, provident fund, pension fund with a minimum corpus of 25 crore, national investment fund. And then banks, NBFCs, financial institution, and then insurance funds, insurance companies, SIDC and FPI. Ma'am, done, 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 done. Ma'am, done, done, are done. Okay. The next one we are going to do is a little heavy topic, but don't worry, because we are going to do it amazingly. As I told you, it is my favorite word. So, anchor investors. Anchor investors. This is not the stage anchor. Oh, I am anchoring the program. Anchor investors are QIBs. So they are a type of QIBs, you can say. So who are anchor investors? Anchor investors, they are QIBs, but they invest in what? IPO. As you all know, IPO जैसे लेंस कार्ड का तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा sorry during the lens card IPO, lot of this what we say, what we say lot of conversations were there in the social media regarding whether it's a good or bad. So I hope you all know about IPO, and you do, because we have done ICDR chapter where we study about IPO. So these are QIBs who invest in IPO. And as you all know, when companies do IPO, they do in main board. And when small and medium companies, SMEs, they come up with public issue, they do in SME exchange. So there is a main board for big companies, and then there is SME exchange for chikkadu companies, small companies. Okay, so no matter whether you are doing IPO in the main board for big companies, or you are doing IPO for the SME, in the SME board for SME companies, in both the cases, if you are a QIB and you invest in IPO, then you are known as anchor investor. Who are anchor investor? You are QIB and you invest in IPO. You are QIB and you invest in IPO. You are QIB and you invest in IPO. Then you are anchor investor, and they invest in IPO before the public offer is open to general public. So in IPO, as we have learned, that before IPO opens for general public, it opens for these people, QIBs. So why this particular thing happens, as we all can remember, so usually when IPO comes, people don't have trust over the company. Like, people were scared to invest in Lenskart ka IPO, like dead scared, because the company was in negative profitability and all. They manipulated the accounts to show profit in the company. The point is to gain confidence of the people. Before company makes public offer, before company opens the public offer, one day before that, we offer shares to QIBs, and so that if QIB will purchase the shares of our company will have a good image. Public will have faith in our company कि अगर QIB खरीद रहा है तो अच्छा ही होगा. Like, if QIB is purchasing these shares or this company, then definitely this IPO is going to be good. So why company issue shares to anchor investors? To get public faith, to get public trust. Yeah, yes, okay. So bidding opens for them. For them means for anchor investors, one day before bidding opens for all. So before public offer opens, let's say public offer is opening today. What is today? 2nd December. One day before, on 1st December, we will offer shares to anchor investors, and same day we will allot shares to them. So bidding opens for them one day before issue opens for all, and shares will be allotted to them the same day of bidding. The day when they will do bidding, same day we will allot shares to them. That is before issue opens for everybody. And those shares will be locked in for 30 days. Locked in for 30 days means for the next 30 days, anchor investors cannot sell those shares. You have to remember, locked in, not 3 months. just 30 days, just 30 days. And lastly, why they act as a trust builder investor. So who are anchor investors? Once again, ma'am, anchor investors, they are nothing, they are QIBs who apply in IPO, who invest in IPO, so they are known as anchor investors. Those QIBs who apply in IPO, those QIBs who apply in IPO, so let's say mutual fund, Axis Mutual Fund is applying in IPO, so Axis Mutual Fund will be known as anchor investor. They are QIBs who invest in IPO before IPO is open for general public. One day before they apply and they get the allotment. They cannot sell shares for 30 days. Now, some investment requirement. Here comes the learning part. Here comes the learning part, everybody. I want you to be with me. If public issue is done on the main board of stock exchange, then some different requirements are there. If public issue is done on the SME stock exchange, SME means for small and medium companies, then different requirement is there. Okay, so if any company is doing IPO on main board, anchor investor has to apply for minimum 10 crore rupees. They can't apply for less than 10 crore. They have to apply for the shares of at least 10 crore. They have to apply for minimum 10 crore. But if it's a SME exchange, if any small company is making public issue in SME exchange, then anchor investor have to apply for at least 2 crore. Anchor investor have to apply for at least 2 crore. Everybody, main board may 10 crore, SME may 2 crore. Now everybody, okay. Now, if the total amount that we have decided to allocate to anchor investor is only less than 10 crore, if the total amount that we want to allocate to anchor investor is less than 10 crore, then maximum 2 anchor investors can apply. If the total amount that we have to decided to allocate to anchor investor is more than 10 crore, up to 250 crore, then 2 to 15 anchor investors can apply. Minimum 2, maximum 15. And if we have allocated more than 250 crore rupees ke shares for anchor investors, then 2 to 15 investors can apply for up to 250 crore, and additional 10 investors can apply for additional 250 crore or whatever is extra than 250 crores. I hope this is clear. And per investors ko we have to allot minimum 5 crore. Per investors we have to allot how much? Minimum 5 crore ke shares. Minimum shares worth rupees 5 crore. Here also and here also. Once again, you need to learn this, guys. You need to learn this. Okay, if IPO is done on the main board, then anchor investors have to apply for minimum 10 crore. Every anchor investors, they have to apply for minimum 10 crore. Now, if the company has allocated up to 10 crore for anchor investors, then only maximum two investors can apply. If the allocation is 10 crore to 250 crore, then 2 to 15 investors can apply. If the allocation is more than 250 crore, then 2 to 15 plus additional 10 investors for additional 250 crore can apply, subject to minimum allotment of 5 crore per investor. Okay, now here comes the learning part. Okay, let's learn. 10 crore mein 2, 10 to 250 crores, 2 to 15, and then more than 250 crores, 2 to 15 plus additional 10 investors. Easy to remember. Now, if you can remember this, then you can easily remember this. If it's an SME exchange, everything is same, just the amount is reduced. In the case of SME exchange, if you apply for at least, in case of SME exchange, anchor investors have to apply for minimum 2 crore. Now, if the allocation is less than 2 crore, then maximum 2 investors can apply. If the allocation is more than 2 crore or less than equal to 25 crore, then 2 to 15 investors can apply. If the allocation is more than 25 crore, then 2 to 15 investors can apply plus additional 10 investors for additional 250 crores. Is this clear? Is this clear? So if company wants to allot only 2 crore to anchor investors, then maximum 2 investors can apply. If company wants to allot more than 2 crore but up to 25 crore to anchor investors, then 2 to 15 anchor investors can apply. If company wants to allot more than 25 crore to anchor investors, then 2 to 15 plus additional 10 investors can apply. Now let's try to learn. See, if you will compare this, the right hand side is same. Okay, only in the left hand side, here there is 10 crore, here there is 2 crore. Here there is 10 to 250, Here there's 2 to 25. So instead of 250, you can just remove one zero and you can make it 25. Here there's more than 250. Here there's more than 25. So if you compare it, it will become very easy. So this is like copy paste, only replace 10 with 2 and 250 with 25. That's it. Rest all is same. Okay. Rest all is same. I hope this is clear. Can you remember this? Yes, everybody. If you can remember this, then drop um, drop Bahubali in the chat box. If you can remember this, then drop Bahubali in the chat box. Yes, guys, if you can remember this, drop Bahubali in the chat box. Can you remember this? Yes, ma'am. Here also in this case, minimum allotment per investor should be 5 crores. Minimum investment per investor should be 5 crores. I hope we are done with this. Yes, everybody. Okay. Now, QIB almost done. One last point about the QIB is that out of total amount allocated for QIBs, only 60% can be allocated to anchor investors. Whatever amount company wants to allocate to QIBs, out of total amount of QIBs, only 60% can be allocated to anchor investors. For example, if company has decided to allot 100 crores cash securities to QIBs, then only 60%, matlab only 60 crore के shares can be allotted to anchor investors. If company have allocated 100 crore for QIB, then iska 60%, maximum 60 crore can be allocated to anchor investor, and out of total portion of anchor investor, 1/3 will be reserved for mutual funds. Mutual fund is also a type of anchor investor. So out of total portion reserved for this anchor investors, that is 60 crore, 1/3 of this means divide by 3 is equals to 20 crore will be reserved for mutual fund. 1/3 of this, 1/3 of this amount, 1/3 of what is reserved for anchor investor will be reserved for mutual fund. So if we are going to allocate 60 crore to anchor investor, then 1/3 of this means divide by 3, 20 crores we will reserve for mutual funds. Allocation will be done on discretionary basis, means it is up to company how much to allot and whom to allot. That's all about QIB. Sorry, anchor investor. That's all about anchor investor. I hope we are done with anchor investor. That's all about anchor investor. Everybody once again, okay? So we are doing a technical topic, and everybody, anchor investors, they are QIB who applies in IPO, and for them bid open one day before bid opens for everybody else. They are allotted on the same day. Their shares are locked in for 30 days, and out of total QIB ka portion, only 60% can be allocated to anchor investors, and out of anchor investors ka portion, only 1/3 1/3 will be reserved for mutual fund. That's it. Now, if you are applying on main board, you need to apply for minimum 10 crore. If you are applying on SME, you need to apply for minimum 2 crore. Okay, and then this table, if company allocated only 10 crore, 2 anchor investors can invest. If company allocated 10 to 250, 2 to 15 investors can invest. If company allocated more than 250, 2 to 15 plus additional 10 can invest. And same way, in case of SME, just replace 10 crore with 2 crore and replace 250 crore with 25 crore. Are we okay? Are we okay? If we are okay with this particular topic and we can learn this thing right now, right here, yes, drop Bahubali in the chat box. Yes, Pradyumna, Keshav, Ulux, Amulya, Vinay, Jivan, Teju. Yes, everybody. Okay, so we are good to move towards our next topic, which is your FPI, foreign portfolio investors. Foreign portfolio investors. Very easy topic to cover. Now, foreign portfolio investors are foreign people. Name itself suggests they are not Indian, they are foreign. Justin Bieber, remember? Okay. They can be individual or they can be institution. Individual means human being, Justin Bieber. They can be institution like foreign bank, for example. Okay, so they are foreign individual or institution. Secondly, they invest in Indian stocks. Okay, foreign portfolio investors means they are foreign people, they invest in Indian stocks, and they have to get registered with SEBI under SEBI FPI regulation. Easy peasy, 3 points. If question comes on FPI, can you write these 3 points? Very easy, ma'am, we can write. They are foreign individuals or institution, they invest in Indian stock market, They are registered with SEBI under SEBI FPI regulations. Very important. Two types of FPI: category 1 and category 2 FPI. If you can remember the memory technique that I told you during the lectures, remember our real friend and fake friends. Can you trust your real friend who is like genuine and real to you? Yes, you can trust them. But your fake friend who are good to you, but they are not that trustable. They are not that trustable. You cannot rely on them. So that is your category 1 and category 2 FPI. Now, who all comes in category 1 FPI? Category 1 FPI when these four people will come: government related people, governments, financial entities, some funds, and some entities from FATF member companies. Okay. Now let's see one by one. Who will come in the category 1 FPI? Who will come in the category 1 FPI? The first will be your government related, like foreign governments, foreign banks, central banks, sovereign wealth funds, multilateral organization, or any other agencies which is owned 75% by government. So basically, these are government related bodies like foreign banks, central banks, foreign wealth funds, sovereign wealth funds, multilateral organization. Multilateral means it is a organization of multiple countries. Multilateral organization and any other agencies owned 75% or more by government. These people, if they invest in Indian shares, it is trusted. We can trust on them because they are regulated by foreign government. They are highly trusted, so there is less risk. Okay, so they are government related people. If they invest in Indian stock market, they are known as FPI. Secondly, regulated financial entities like foreign banks, foreign insurance companies, AMCs, asset management companies, investment manager, investment advisor, portfolio manager, brokers. These are intermediaries, kind of. We all know these are intermediaries: investment manager, investment advisor, portfolio manager, broker. So these are known as financial entities. So if foreign financial entities, foreign financial entities, what's wrong? Okay, something is wrong. Let's leave it. So if foreign financial, these are financial entities like banks, insurance, investment manager, investment advisor, portfolio manager, broker. All these are financial entities. If they invest in Indian stock market, it will be known as FPI. It will be known as category 1 FPI. Third is some funds like foreign pension fund and foreign university funds. So two funds are there: pension fund and university funds. Fourth is, you need to take some closer look here. Fourth is your entities from FATF member companies. Entities from FATF member companies. Now, countries. What do you mean by FATF? Financial Action Task Force member countries means there is a international scheme called Financial Action Task Force. Now, in that, many countries are a part of it. Okay, so those countries which are a part of FATF, they are known as FATF member countries. Now, from these countries, if there is any regulated fund, they will come in category 1 FPI. Let's say Pakistan. Can we blindly trust on Pakistan? No, we can't trust on Pakistan. So, if any fund from Pakistan will want to invest in India, we will not put them in category 1. They will go to category 2. First of all, whether we'll allow them to invest or not, that's a question. So, only which countries will come in category 1 FPI? FPI means foreign investment. Foreign people are investing now. So only those countries we will take which are a part of FATF, Financial Action Task Force member country. Now, even in those countries, if there are regulated funds, okay, we can trust them. They will come in category 1. So it's like all the good qualities we are putting in category 1 and all other we are putting in category 2. Okay, regulated funds, we can trust them. We can blindly trust them. They are safe. Yes, they will come in category 1. Secondly, unregulated fund will come only if their investment manager is regulated. Someone should be regulated. Okay, so even unregulated funds, even even unregulated funds will come here in this particular category 1 FPI if and only if their investment manager is regulated. And third one, those entities, now you need to literally have a closer look. Let's say there is a foreign entity. Let's say there is a foreign company whose investment manager is whose investment manager is from FATF member country. Okay. Secondly, takes all the responsibility that if anything bad happens, I will be responsible. Simply, he's taking all the responsibility, and either he is registered as a category 1 FPI, or he in that 75% of the ownership is taken by these entities, or these regulated fund, then even they will come in category 1 FPI. Once again, those companies whose investment manager is registered as a category 1 FPI, even those entity will be category 1 FPI because their investment manager is registered as a category 1 FPI. So those entity whose investment manager is registered as a category 1 FPI, then those entities will also be considered as a category 1 FPI. Or else those entities whose 75% is owned by these entities or these regulated fund, then even those entities will be considered as a category 1 FPI, provided the investment manager takes all the responsibility. And lastly, any university fund from these countries, FATF member countries, any university fund which is in existence for more than 5 years, they need to be in existence for at least 5 years. Who are in existence for minimum 5 years, they'll be considered as category 1 FPI. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again, everybody. Category 1 FPI, they are the more trusted people. Basically, they are regulated by foreign government, so we can blindly trust on them and we can allow them to invest in India. So government related, like central banks, sovereign wealth funds, multilateral organization, or any other agency which is 75% owned by government. Foreign financial entities like banks, insurance, investment manager, AMC, investment advisor, portfolio manager, broker, funds like pension fund, university fund, and regarding from FATF member countries, regulated funds, unregulated funds only if their investment manager is regulated, any other entity only if their investment manager is either registered as a category 1 FPI or their investment manager is owned 75% by this or um, these regulated funds. And lastly, those university funds which are in existence for more than 5 years, you need to go through it at least 2-3 times and then it will settle down in your head. I'm pretty sure about it. Now coming to category 2 FPI. Category 2 FPIs are those FPI which are not blindly trusted. They are like that fake friend whom you cannot trust blindly. Okay, basically they are not regulated by foreign government. So if they are not regulated by foreign government, we need to check before allowing them to invest in India. So that is category 2 FPI. They are not tightly regulated, so they are less reliable. So all the good quality people are in category 1, rest all are in category 2. You can see who are in category 2. Mostly those funds which are not in category 1. Automatically, we are simply saying that those funds which will not come in category 1, they will automatically come in category 2. Next, unregulated funds. Unregulated means those who are not regulated by foreign government. Next, companies, families, individuals. Individual. Justin Bieber, bhai, if Justin Bieber wants to invest in Indian stock market, he will come in category 2, not category 1, because he is not regulated by foreign government now. Are you understanding? Like American government. So individuals, human beings, families, companies, like a normal company. Okay, so companies, families, individuals, unregulated fund, and those regulated fund which are not covered in category 1, and charitable organization like NPOs and all, they will come in category 2. Easy peasy. Easy, ma'am, easy. Who will come in category 2? Individuals, families, companies. Let's say there is one very rich family, just like Ambani family is very rich in India. Let's say there is one very rich family in UK. They want to invest in Indian stock market. They will come in category 2 or category 1. They will come in category 2. Families, companies, unregulated funds, regulated fund which are not eligible under category 1, and charitable organization, they will come in category 2. Rest all is done, and that's all about your FPI. I hope this point is clear to you. Now that's all about FPI. Everybody, please let me know if this topic is clear to you, FPI, and can we move towards another topic? Yes, everybody, can we move towards another topic, everyone? So FPI means they are foreign individuals or institution. They invest in Indian market. They are regulated by SEBI FPI regulations. Two types of FPIs are there, category 1 and category 2. Category 1 are basically some government related banks, sovereign wealth funds, multilateral organization, and agencies owned 75% by government. Financial entities like banks, insurance, funds like pension and university funds, entities from FATF member countries. Who will come in category 2? Individuals, families, corporates, unregulated funds, regulated funds, and charitable organization. If we are clear with FPI, foreign portfolio investors, drop all right in the chat box. If we are clear with this particular topic of foreign portfolio investors, drop all right in the chat box. Drop all right in the chat box. Yes. If we are clear with this particular topic, drop all right in the chat box. Yes. I can see a lot of all right here. Prajwal, Rakshita, Priya, Kiru. Who's Kiru? Oh, this is Kavya. Okay. Teju, Jeevan. Yes, everybody. Okay. I can see a lot of all right in the chat box. Now moving towards the next. I don't know what happened with this. Oh, yes. It's clear now. Now moving towards the next particular topic, which is your AIFs. AIF is a very easy topic. AIF, alternate investment fund, and very quickly we'll be doing this. Just like mutual fund. What does mutual fund do? Mutual fund. What does mutual fund do? Mutual fund collect money from lots of people, from lots of people, from lots of public, and then invest in stock market or invest in a particular purpose. For a particular purpose, usually they invest in stock market. That's what mutual fund does, right? Mutual fund collect money from a lot of people and then invest in stock market. Same is your AIF. AIF collect money from people and then invest for some purpose. But the main difference between mutual fund and AIF is that mutual fund is a public fund. Public fund means open for all. Anybody can invest in mutual fund. I can purchase any mutual fund I want. But AIF is a private fund. Some people privately pool money together, make a fund, and then they invest for a particular project. That is your AIF. So it is a private investment fund. Private investment fund means not open for all, not open for public. Only some rich people. Imagine some Ambanis and Adanis and Tatas and Birlas making a fund together. These 4 5 people contributing huge amount and making a fund and then investing for a purpose. That's AIF. Simple, very simple. Yes, ma'am, done, understood. What do you mean by private investment fund? What do you mean by AIF? AIF is a private investment fund. Private means not open for all, only few people, like HNIs. HNIs means high net worth individuals, big companies or large institution, rich people, you can simply say rich people. Exam mein don't write rich people, exam mein write HNIs or big companies or big institution. They pool their money together, make a fund, and then they invest as per a pre-decided strategy. So simply, some rich people, HNIs, big companies, collect their money together, bring their money together, make a fund, make a private fund, and then invest as per the pre-decided strategy. That's AIF. So if you will see the definition of AIF, it is a fund that is established in India, of course, Indian fund, and that fund is in the form of either trust or company or LLP or body corporate, and it is a privately pooled investment vehicle. Privately pooled means not open for public. Few people privately collect money and make this fund called AIF, which collects money from investors. Those investors are basically small in number, few rich investors. They can be Indian or foreign investors. The investors of AIF can be Indian or foreign investors, and they invest according to the pre-decided strategy. They invest in according to the decided investment policy. It is not a mutual fund or CIS. Why it is not a mutual fund or CIS? Because mutual fund and CIS are public funds. It is a private fund. AIF is a private fund. Once again, which is in the form of either trust or company or LLP or body corporate. It cannot be in the form of partnership. Okay, so it is in the form of trust or company or LLP or body corporate. Now it is a private investment vehicle where some rich people, some rich investors, Indian or foreign, they invest money, they collect money together in the fund, and then they invest in accordance with the pre-decided investment policy. Now the most important thing that you have to do is what is included and what is excluded in AIF. What is included in AIF? It includes VCF, PE funds, debt funds, infra funds, hedge fund, commodity funds. So basically, these are some of the examples of AIF. Venture capital fund, you know, startups wala, they are also known as AIF. PE funds, private equity funds, they are also known as AIF. Debt funds, infra funds, hedge funds, commodity funds, all these are included in AIF. What is excluded in AIF? Very important, very important. What is excluded in AIF? Firstly, mutual fund CIS is not an AIF because it's a public fund. Family trust, ESOP trust, employee welfare trust, gratuity trust. Can you see a lot of trust here? Can you see a lot of trust here? Yes. Why this trust? Because they are regulated by Companies Act and they are regulated by some other law. So that's why they will not come in AIF. Some trust. Family trust because it is made for the benefit of family members. ESOP trust, employee welfare trust, gratuity trust. Why? Because it is made for the benefit of employees, not general public. It will not come in AIF because it is made for the benefit of employees. ESOP trust, employee welfare trust, gratuity trust. Family trust is made for the benefit of our family member, let's say child and etc. Next, SPV, securitization trust, fund managed by securitization company, holding company, or any other fund regulated by any other regulator. So basically, if any fund is not regulated by SEBI, it is regulated by RBI or any other regulator, then in that case it will not come in AIF. And lastly, SPV means special purpose vehicle, securitization trust and securitization company. Why? Because they are regulated by RBI, so that's why they will not be covered in AIF. Because AIF is regulated by SEBI, so these securitization companies and trusts will not be covered here. So inclusion and exclusion. What things are not included in AIF? First of all, mutual fund and CIS. Everyone have to speak along with me. Which funds are not included in AIF? Mutual fund, CIS, okay, done. Family trust, ESOP trust, employee welfare trust, gratuity trust. Why? Because these are for the benefit of employee and this is second one is for the benefit of family. And then some SPV, securitization company. Why? Because they're regulated by RBI, then holding company, and lastly any other fund regulated by any other body. Acha, what is included in AIF? Simply we know venture capital fund, PE funds, etc., etc., etc. So basically, if I have to sum up, what is AIF? It is a private fund where some rich people like HNIs and big companies, they collect money together and then they invest for a pre-decided purpose. Okay, they invest in huge amount. Now it is a private fund, it's not a public fund. That's why it is not a mutual fund or CIS. They are in the form of trust or company or LLP or body corporate. Now, one thing about AIF is your categories of AIF. Okay, so the next topic is your categories of AIF. There are three categories of AIF. Now remember, if you can remember what we did in the class. Can you remember what we did in the class? Yes, yes. What are category 1 AIF? They are nation builders. इनको लगता है कि देश को यही बचाएंगे. Just like stranger think kids think that they will save the Hawkins from Vecna. Same way, this category 1 AIF thinks they will save the nation. They will build the nation. Okay, so basically they try to invest. It's a fund which invests in kind of startup companies, SMEs, small and medium exchange, infrastructure projects, social beneficial projects, innovation. Basically they try to invest in those areas which are desirable by government. So they are like they are trying to please government कि, oh, we are investing in the those areas where you need us. So here we are saying that these category 1 AIF, sorry, they invest in socially and economically beneficial funds. They invest in those areas, those companies which are socially and economically beneficial for our government and for our country. So they invest in areas desirable by government, like they invest in startups, small companies, infrastructure, social impact project, innovation, because this is where government need you to invest. Example of category 1 AIF. Best example of category 1 AIF is your venture capital fund, is your venture capital fund, VCF, because they invest in startups. SME fund, because they invest in small companies. Infra funds, because they invest in infrastructure. Social impact funds, because they invest in social projects which are beneficial for government, which are beneficial for public. These are like, nation builders. We will build the nation. They invest in these areas which are needed by government. Example, VCF, SME fund, infra fund, social impact fund, all these are category 1 AIF. Understood, ma'am? Next is your category 2 AIF. Category 2 AIF are basically the one who are neither category 1 nor category 2. Those who will not come in category 1 and they will not come in category 3, then they will come in category 2. One correction. Category 1 and category 3. Those who will not come in both category 1 and category 3, then they will come in category 2. So basically they play safe. They are like, we don't want to take too much risk, and we don't want to care about government, we don't want to care about country, we want to make profit. They are like bhaan mein jaye sab kuch. They are like you know uh, they are like what, okay, I was thinking of a pun, but ignore it. Basically they are like, we don't care about country, we don't care about startups, we don't care about small companies, we don't care about infrastructure. We will invest in those areas where we will get profit. We just care about our profit. So best example is private equity funds. So usually they invest in like private equity, and they invest in like real estate, because this is where they get the most profit. So usually they invest in like real estate and private equity. So the example of category 2 AIF are private equity funds, PE funds, real estate funds, and debt funds. Okay, best example is PE funds and real estate funds. They invest to get return. Their only motive is, we will invest money, we will get returns, and we will say tata bye bye go. We don't care about government. We are not nation builders. We are not people pleaser. Okay, we will invest in private equity, we will invest in real estate, we will get our return, and we are happy. So example of category 2 AIF are private equity, real estate, private equity, real estate, private equity, real estate. Okay, now category 3. What is category 3? Category 3 FPI mein na, defaulter people will come. Remember class mein I told you defaulter, khatron ke khiladi. Yes Amulya, khatron ke khiladi. So category 3 people, aggressive, they do aggressive investment. These people are like that ki even if they don't have money, they will take loan and then they will invest. Matlab they do leverage, they do, they do hedging. Hedging means applying different strategies which are very risky to get some extraordinary returns. They are like, they don't play normally, they play extraordinary. So these people are very aggressive, they take too much risk, they take loan in order to invest. They take loan. This is known as category 3 AIF. Category 3 AIF is basically, category 3 AIF is basically, they follow high strategies. They follow some high strategies. They take borrowed money. Borrowed money means leverage. Leverage. They take borrowed money to maximize their returns, and they invest in derivatives. Derivatives like options, call, put. Derivative is very risky. Normal people don't do derivative unless and until they are ready to take the risk. Derivative, options, tradings, futures, they invest in derivative. Example, hedge fund, commodity funds. Example, hedge funds, commodity fund. Your question can come, give us examples of category 1, category 2 and category 3 FPIs. Once again everybody, category 1 FPIs are like the nation builders. Category 1 FPI, they are like the nation builders. They will invest in the area where government need us, for India, for the growth of India. They will invest in. Startups, SMEs, infrastructure, social impact project. Example, venture capital fund, SME fund, infra fund, social impact fund. Category 2, they just care about their profit. So they will play safe. They will invest in private equity or real estate. For example, PE funds, real estate funds. They are neither category 1 nor category 3. So they invest in those areas which are beneficial for them, and they don't invest in socially beneficial area. And secondly, they don't borrow money. But category 3, they are to super khatro ke khiladi. They take high risk and they follow high strategies. They take loan, borrowed money, and they invest in derivative. Example, hedge fund and commodity funds. Okay, category 1 ka example, venture capital funds, SME funds, infra funds. Category 2 example, PE funds, real estate funds. Category 3 example, hedge fund, commodity fund, hedge fund, commodity fund. I hope you can remember all the 3 categories of AIF. Category 1, category 2, category 3. If this is clear to you, if this is all clear to you, drop outstanding in the chat box. If this is clear to you, drop outstanding in the chat box. Everybody, all those who are watching, if this 3 category of AIF is clear to you, drop outstanding in the chat box, everybody. And have a water. And I would like you to speak all these types of category 1, 2, 3 AIF where you're watching. Trust me guys, speaking subconsciously helps your brain to remember things, and I have experienced it myself. So instead of saying this in your just without speaking inside your brain, try to speak it out loud. Try to speak this along with me, just like I am speaking. You speak at your home from wherever you are watching. Speak these 3 types of category AIF and try to revise this. Speaking helps you a lot in memorizing and learning. As a teacher, we are able to learn all the topics. Why? Because we keep on speaking this. In order to explain you, we have to speak on these topics, right? Automatically it gets settled in our brain because we keep on speaking on this topic. So speaking helps you a lot to remember. I would suggest you to please revise by speaking all the topics. Okay. Yes, everybody. So we have got a lot of outstanding in the chat box. Rakshita, Priya, Keshav, Ulux, Amulya. Still, I can see the Josh. Jeevan. Yes. Chandan. Pradyumna. Yes, everybody. Okay. So the next topic here we go is your venture capital fund, which is a very, very, like a very small topic. So venture capital means, we all know it is a type of AIF. Which category of AIF, guys? Can you tell me? Can you tell me? Yes, you can tell me. VCF are which category of AIF? You got it right. VCFs are the category 1 AIF. So can we see it? Can we see it? Yes, we can see it. VCF are the category 1 AIF. Category 1 AIF means they pool money from lot of rich people like HNIs and all, and then they invest in some purpose. Where they invest? Since it's a venture capital means they invest in startups. Yes, you got it right. Venture capital means startup. They invest in startups. They invest in newborn babies, not babies, newborn companies. They invest in startups. So it is a fund. What do you mean by VCF? VCF is a fund which invests in startups or early stage privately held companies, very chikkadu private companies, newly made, newly born, early stages private company. In exchange of shares or ownership, in exchange they purchase shares of the company. They don't invest for like long term, but they usually invest for 3 to 5 years. After 3 to 5 years, when their money gets double or triple, they exit. They sell their shares and exit. Do they take control of the company? No. They simply provide money for the startups. That's it. So it is a type of category 1 AIF who invest in only and only startups, and early stage ventures. Okay, now, is it a private fund or a public fund? It is a private fund. Not anybody can contribute to this fund. Only some rich people like HNIs and big investors and big institutions like angel investors, like let's say Anupam Mittal, my favorite angel investor. So let's say HNI is big institution, angel investors, they privately pool their money, make a fund called venture capital fund, and then through that fund they invest in startups, okay, and they focus on areas like innovation, technologies, biotech, medical, etc. So usually they focus on those startups which are doing some innovation, which are doing some technological development, biotech, which are working on biotech, medical, etc. That's all about VCF, guys. You already know about VCF. Few points to remember about VCF once again. Okay, once again few points to remember about VCF. तान्या मित्तल, बिग बॉस देखते हो क्या प्रज्वल? ठीक है, तो few points to remember about VCF, that it is a type of category 1, it is a type of category 1 AIF, and in this some people, private people like angel investors, HNIs, they pool their money, make this fund, and through this fund they invest only and only in startups and some early stage companies in exchange of shares. Usually they invest for 3 to 5 years, and they focus on areas like innovation, technologies, biotech. That's it. We are done with VCF. Next is your private equity, and it's a very interesting topic. You know, people who are working in private equity, huge respect for them. Private equity. Private equity is, again, it's not a public fund. It is a private fund. And can you recall something? Yes, we can. We can recall something. Can we recall something? Is it a type of AIF? Yes, we can recall that private equity is a type of category 2 AIF. Can we remember this? Yes, we can remember this. Category 2 AIF. Private equity fund is a type of category 2 AIF. Now, if you can come here, private equity. Yes, everybody, along with me. Private equity, it is a type of category 2 AIF. Now, what's the difference between venture capital and private equity? So simply venture capital, they invest in startups, new companies. Private equity, they don't invest in startups. They invest in mature companies which are already mature enough, which are already making profits, which have already started and doing well. Okay. So private equity, they don't invest in startups. Where they invest? So basically they invest in operating company which are not publicly traded, that is unlisted company, operating but unlisted companies. They don't invest in listed companies. Private equity, one of the best example, Belgian waffle, sorry, Belgian waffle, you know, it's a private, sorry, it's an unlisted company. And in that, one of my friend who's working with a Marathon Edge private equity fund, it's a private equity fund, and he's working there, one of my friend. So he basically told me that their private equity fund invested in Belgian waffles, which is an unlisted company, which is operating company. It's not a startup. It's not a startup now. It's an operating company. So basically, private equity fund, they invest in operating companies, not a startup. Operating matlab they have already started and they are doing well, but it is unlisted company. Okay. Now, if we invest in a listed company, we convert it into private. We convert it into unlisted. So basically, if we invest in listed company, then we intend to make it private. We intend to make it private. Matlab ki usually we don't invest in listed company. We invest in unlisted company. But if we are investing in listed company, then we'll make sure that we convert this listed company into unlisted company. Next, guys, we know where do they invest. So basically, if you will see, VCF and PE funds are same technically, but the difference is that VCF invest in startups, PE invest in operating companies which are already grown up and which are unlisted. And if we invest in listed company, then we make it unlisted. Now, guys, next point, this PE funds, they find significant share ownership and take control over the company. Major difference between venture capital and PE funds. Venture capital, they just take 1-2% shares of the company. They don't take control of the company. But private equity, they usually take around 20 to 50% shares of the company, like a significant ownership of the company, and they take the control over the company in exchange of their investment. So let's say our private equity, Marathon Edge, we are investing 10,000 crore in your company in return of 50% share of your company. So we are taking like significant ownership, and we also take the control over the company. Acha, who invests in this private equity fund? Who invests? It's a private fund. It's not a public fund. Not anybody can put money in this PE fund. In this PE fund, only some rich people can invest money, like HNIs, angel investors, or big institutions like banks, insurance. So only this few rich people. Who are few rich people? HNIs, angel investors, and large institutions. They pool their money together and they make this fund known as private equity fund. And using this private equity fund, they invest in some mature companies. Okay. Now that they do large amount of investment, of course, usually for long term. They don't invest for short term. So these PE funds, when they choose a company and when they invest in a company, they invest for long term. Usually they exit after IPO. They are like you only when after we have grown this company to the level of IPO, when your company will make IPO, then we will exit. So usually they invest for long term and they sell their shares, they exit only after IPO. Lastly, they get high returns on investments. As we all know, private equity funds may they invest in huge amount and they take the control of the company also, so they get high return on investment. And few extra point, when they purchase invest in any company, now it becomes illiquid. Illiquid means it cannot be easily sold. When you, it's not easy. Private equity investment is a big step. Like once you marry, you don't prefer taking divorce very easily. Like it's a big step, right? So in a private equity fund, once you invest, it is not easy to be sold. So it becomes illiquid. Illiquid matlab cannot be easily sold. And sometimes they use debt also. Debt matlab they borrow money also to invest in the company. That's all about private equity, guys. And some comparison that I want to do. Venture capital, it is a category 1 AIF. Private equity, it is a category 2 AIF. Venture capital, they invest in startups. Venture capital, they invest in startups. PE, they invest in operating companies but unlisted companies. Okay. Now, venture capital, they invest for like 3 to 5 years, and these PE funds, they invest for like long term. Okay. And they exit usually after IPO. And these people, like they also invest good in large amount. These people also invest in PE funds, also invest in large amount. So this is basically about the venture capital and PE fund. Now, what we have to do is types of PE fund. There are three types of PE fund. One is your leverage buyout, LBO, one is your venture capital, and one is your growth capital. Very easy to remember. Types of PE fund, types of private equity fund: leverage buyout, venture capital, and growth capital. Now, what do you mean by venture capital, guys? Venture capital, we already know venture capital. They invest in startups. Don't you think you already know about venture capital? They invest in startups and early stage ventures. They invest in startups and early stage businesses. Now, ma'am, this too we already know. Ma'am, what about growth capital? Growth capital PE funds means they invest in those companies who are looking for expansion. Let's say Belgian waffle is very good and doing good business all over India. Let's say they want to expand in Dubai also. Now they are looking for business expansion. For that, Belgian waffle need money. Now who will give that money? PE fund. And this is known as this PE fund, which invest in such companies who are looking for expansion. They are doing good, but now they want to expand. So when we invest in such companies who are looking for expansion, it is known as growth capital PE fund. So what is growth capital PE fund, guys? Growth capital PE fund means we do some not too much investment, because it's already established company, we just want to expand. Minority investment in when we do in expanding business, when we invest in those companies which are expanding in the sense, let's say they want to enter new market. Let's say you want to start more outlets, you want to enter international market. You are selling in India, now you want to sell abroad also. You want to enter new market, you want to do some restructuring, you want to do merger, acquisition, takeover. You want to do these kind of restructuring or merger amalgamation, takeover, or you want to enter new market, or you want to expand. In such companies, when we invest, such PE fund is known as growth capital. We are doing good, now we want to grow more. Okay. And they usually don't take the control of the company. They invest small amount, take minor percentage of shares, but they don't take control over the company. So once again, such PE fund who invest in expanding business, that is growth capital PE fund. Such PE fund which invest in startups, they are known as VCPE funds and and such P funds who take loan to invest, that is known as leverage buyout. As we all know, what is the meaning of leverage? Ma'am, we know leverage means borrowing money. Oops, yes, leverage means borrowing money, taking loan to invest. Taking loan. So when you take loan, when you borrow money to invest in any company, that is known as leverage buyout. Buyout matlab we are buying by taking loan. Okay, so when you buy a company, by taking loan, by borrowing money, that is a leverage buyout. And here you target mature companies, matlab who are already doing well and they are already generating cash flows. So with this, we are done with three types of P funds. Once again, I'll repeat, very easy to remember, guys. P funds, three types of P funds: leverage buyout, venture capital, and growth capital. See, leverage buyout simply means we are using loan money. We are using borrowing to buy a company, and here we focus on mature companies who are doing good, who are generating good cash flow. Venture capital when we invest in startup. Growth capital P fund when we invest in expanding business, who want to do restructuring, who want to do merger amalgamation takeover, who want to enter new market. Khalas. If you understood PE fund, private equity fund, type type khalas in the chat box. Can you type khalas in the chat box, everybody? Yes, it sounds funny, but yes, khalas means khatam. Okay, like khatam, your topic khatam. Okay, so khatam means like over, done, completed. Okay, so if you have understood this particular private equity fund, type khalas in the chat box. Yes, Kiru is very happy. Okay, outstanding. Okay, yes, type khalas in the chat box, everybody, so that we can move towards our next point. Yes, if you are clear with this, type khalas in the chat box. Khalas. Yes, Amulya has written khalas. If you don't know the spelling, you can see Amulya's message. Yes. Okay, people. Okay, people. How are we doing? कैसा लग रहा है आप लोगों को? Share your feelings with me. How are you feeling till now? Ma'am, yaad aa raha hai. If you have already studied this, then you must be able to remember this. And I'm hoping that before attending this revision, you have at least gone through your study material once. In order to do this from the short notes, I want you to go through the study material once, which I already hope. So that's why I texted all of you. Just go through the study material once, and then we will do the revision from short notes. So I'm really hoping that you have gone through your. I know it's bulky. I know it's bulky, but it's important for your exam. Trust me, sometimes you have to get through the pain to get the reward. So you need to go through your CMSL material once, and then only you need to come for this revision. So I'm really hoping that you have gone through your material once at least. Yes, khalas everybody. Prajwal, Jeevan, Amulya, Pranjal, Kavya, Priya, Rakshita. Yes, everybody. Okay, Prajwal, Keshav. Okay, good, good, good. Everybody. So now next topic is very chickadoo topics. Very chickadoo topic: angel fund and HNI. So basically, we know angel investors and HNI. They are similar points. So two, 3 points you have to learn about angel funds. Some very basic points about the angel funds we have to do. Now, angel funds. Who are they? So basically, the fund created by angel investors. Now, who are angel investors? They can be HNIs, angel investors, or a group of rich people. So basically, when these rich people, let's say Anupam Mittal, or rich people, angel investors assume them as rich people who have lot of money to invest, like lot of money. Imagine all the people who are coming in the Shark Tank. Okay, um, Alag Ghazal, okay, Anupam Mittal, HNIs, all the HNIs, rich people, angel investors, and groups, when they create a fund to invest, that is known as angel fund. Usually, angel fund invest in startups, so they are a type of VCF. They are a kind of venture capital fund. We have already done venture capital fund, so they also usually invest in startups. They also usually invest in startups, and angel fund basically is created by angel investors. It is created by angel investors. They invest in startups in exchange of debt or convertible equity. So usually they take like equity shares or convertible preference shares or convertible or debt. Okay, so usually in exchange of their investment, they invest in the startups. In exchange, they take either convertible equity or debt. And lastly, these are the earliest equity investment in the startup. Earliest matlab first investment in the startup. Usually in startup mein first investment is done by angel investors. Like if you see Shark Tank, many people, many companies come for their first investment, seed capital. So usually first investment in startup is done by angel funds, and they help companies to build their business model, to build their plans, and to give them advice without taking control. Anupam Mittal has invested in 300 companies. Is he controlling 300 companies? No, they don't control the company. They only give them advice. They only help them make their business model. That's it. So these angel investors, let's say Anupam Mittal invested in some company that came in Shark Tank, let's say Cinnamon Kitchen. So if Anupam Mittal invested in this business, Anupam Mittal will not take control over the company. He will only help them to build their business model, to build their plans, and to give them advice. So these angel funds or angel investors, they only help the startups to build their business models, plans, give advice without taking control, and they are a type of category 1 AIF. As we all know, angel funds, they are like VCF. They are like VCF only, like a venture capital fund. So they come in category 1 AIF. Okay. So you see here I have also written they are similar to venture capital but smaller in size and run by individual. So usually what is the difference between VCF and angel funds? They are same only. The only thing is angel fund is little smaller in size as compared to VCF, and VCF may companies and institutions can be there, but institutions and companies can invest in this fund. But in angel fund it is usually like an individual or a group of people. So like one rich person or 2 3 rich person, they make a fund known as angel fund to invest in startup. So once again, angel fund, once again everybody, angel fund, it is created by one rich person or 2 3 rich person, angel investors or group of them. They invest in startup. They are usually the first investment in the startup. In return they take equity, and they only give advice and help in developing business model. They don't take control. They are category 1 AIF. That's it. That's all about angel funds. I hope we are clear about angel funds. If you are clear about angel funds, the next topic is your HNIs, high net worth individual. And who are your HNIs? In short, I call them rich people, simply rich people. Who are HNIs? They are wealthy people. हाँ, exam में rich word थोड़ा सा अजीब लगेगा, but you can write wealthy people, like a wealthy individuals. Who are HNI? They are wealthy individuals and who are distinguished from others based on their investable surplus. Now, what do you mean by investable surplus? The extra amount that I have with me, which I can invest, is known as investable surplus. So, let's say if I have 2 crore rupees to invest, 2 crore rupees extra, which is not needed for my day-to-day expenses. Apart from that, I have 2 crore rupees extra to invest, or let's say 25 crore rupees extra to invest. ठीक है, तो 2 crore I should say. In that case I will be called as high net worth individual. मतलब apart from your whatever expenses you have 2 crore extra which I can invest in other companies. That is known as investable surplus. So if I have more than 2 crore investable surplus, usually I'm considered as HNI. But again, this HNI is not defined anywhere. So this definition can change from person to person. Usually banks, when they categorize HNIs, they take 2 crore as a threshold, that if you have more than 2 crore extra money to invest, then you will be called as high net worth individual. So the day, imagine the day when you earn sufficient money that you have 2 crore extra to invest, you will become an HNI. Okay, high net worth individual, which we call wealthy people. So they are distinguished from others on the basis of their net worth or on the basis of their investable surplus. There is no specific definition of HNI, but usually individuals with more than 2 crore investable surplus, they are considered as HNI. Now if you have less than 2 crore but more than 25 lakhs investable surplus, you are considered as emerging HNI. So if you have 25 lakhs to 2 crore investable surplus, you will be known as emerging HNIs. And lastly, this is all about HNI. That's all about HNI. Now once again, HNI means rich people, wealthy people who have more than 2 crore investable surplus. Acha, if I have less than 2 crore, more than 25 lakh, then I am emerging HNI. I am upcoming HNI, future HNI. And lastly, whenever any IPO comes, if you apply in IPO for less than 2 lakhs rupees, usually you are considered as retail investor. See, different IPO comes, you apply for different IPO. So if in a single IPO, let's say Lenskart ka IPO came. So in the Lenskart ka IPO, I applied for 2 lakhs ke shares, more than 2 lakhs, then I'll be called as HNIs. But if I applied for, let's say, even if I'm HNI, but if I applied for less than 2 lakh ke shares, then I'll be called as retail. I'll be categorized as retail investors. Usually, now this is generally, it is not defined anywhere, but generally companies use this particular threshold, that if in an IPO you apply for less than 2 lakhs rupees, then you will be categorized as retail shareholders. That's all about HNI. Once again, HNI, rich people with more than 2 crore investable surplus. Ma'am, more than 2 crore but less than 25 lakh, then you are emerging HNI. Lastly, if you apply for less than 2 lakh in IPO, you will be categorized as retail shareholder. That's all about HNI. Please let me know if till now it's all clear to you. I need you to go through this PDF once again immediately after our session will end. So as soon as our session will end, I'll send this PDF in the Telegram group, and I need you to go through it once again on your own with full focus. Achha, till now, if everything is clear, drop me a message in the chat box. Till now, if everything is clear, drop me what in the chat box? Drop me understood in the chat box. If till now everything is clear, drop me arthaita in the chat box. Drop me arthaita in the chat box. I too, nay, drop I too, sorry. Drop I too in the chat box. If everything is clear till now, drop I too in the chat box. Yes. Okay, guys. Now we'll be moving towards our next topic, which is Fudusa topic. Like, very easy. Don't get offended by my words. I just take it as a joke. Okay. So, guys, pension funds. Pension funds. What is pension funds? As we all know, ma'am, pension fund. We all know, just very easy topic. It is a fund, retirement fund for the benefit of employees. So this is created by employer for the benefit of employee, which he can get during his retirement or when he leaves the company. Okay. And in this, money is contributed by both employer and employer. So there will be employer's contribution and there will be employer's contribution. That's all about pension fund. That's all. Pension fund, very fuddu sa chotu sa topic. Done, ma'am. Pension fund done. What do you mean by pension fund? Very easy and small topic. Pension fund, it is a fund where employees, sorry, sorry, it is a fund where employees retirement fund is saved. Matlab, it's a basically employees retirement fund ki whatever money we put in this fund, it is for the benefit of employee, he will get when he retire from the company. And this fund is, in this fund is contributed by both employer and employee. Employer contribution, employer also contributes to this fund, employee also contributes to this fund. Now, who manage this fund? In some cases, if it's a big company, they do in-house management of their funds. In some cases, these pension funds are managed by financial intermediary like asset management companies. Okay, once again, who manage pension funds, which is created by companies? In some case, if it's a large company, sometimes they do in-house management. In some cases, it is managed by financial intermediary. For example, there is one pension scheme called National Pension Scheme, NPS. If you have heard about it, NPS, it is managed by, there is an AMC called UTI AMC. It's a government, internet, you can say, public body, UTI AMC, UTI AMC, UTI. The name of that UTI AMC, the name of that AMC company is UTI Retirement Solutions. That's it. Now, these pension funds, let's say employee will retire after 10 years. So till 10 years, what they do, whatever money is there in the pension fund, they invest in the stock market. So these pension fund, they invest whatever fund is there in the shares, debentures, bonds, or stock market or government project. That's all about pension fund. Once again, pension fund is employees retirement fund created by employer. Fund is contributed by both employer and employee. It is managed by in-house in some large companies. Some cases it is managed by AMC. For example, NPS is managed by UTI AMC. And lastly, the funds in this pension fund is invested in stock market. That's all about pension fund. Are we clear till now? We have done like a lot of topics. Are we clear till now? So basically, pension fund is like an employee welfare fund. Angel funds is like angel investors who invest in startups. Okay, HNIs are like rich people, more than 2 crore, more than 2 crore. Okay, and private equity is like they invest in mature companies, operating companies, but which are unlisted and not public, and they take control over the company. However, venture capital, they invest in startups. They invest in startups. They don't take control over the company. These VCs are category 1 AIF, private equity are category 2 AIF. Then we did AIF. AIF means it's a private fund where few rich people like HNIs and all, they contribute money, make this fund and invest as per the pre-decided strategy. Examples of AIF: venture capital fund, PE funds, debt funds. We have already done. An example of what will not be included in AIF: mutual fund, CIS, because it's a public fund. Yes, uh, family trust, ESOPs, trust, employee welfare trust, gratuity trust, because these are for the benefit of employees and families, SPVs, and other cases. Now, types of AIF: category 1, nation builders. They are like startups, SME fund, infra fund. Category 2, they want their returns. Example: PE fund, real estate funds. Category 3, derivatives, options tradings, risky, hedge funds, commodity funds. After that, we did FPI. They are foreign people who invest in India. Now, category 1 mein all the foreign registered people will come, good people, and category 2 mein not so reliable people will come, who are not regulated. Category 1 mein regulated entities will come, and category 2 mein unregulated entities will come, like individuals, families, companies, unregulated funds, etc. And after that, we did anchor investors. Anchor investors, they are QIB, who invest in IPO, who invest in IPO. But there is some minimum deadline given that how many investors can apply, and minimum how much they have to apply in the main board, in the IPO of main board and IPO of SME exchange. Before that, we did QIB. QIBs are large buyers who are experts. They are financially knowledgeable. They do thorough research before investing. They invest in large amount. Who can register as QIB? FBI cuddles FPI. These funds like mutual funds and all, banks and NBFCs, insurance companies, etc. So this we have done QIB, and before that we have done some basic topics like financial market, primary market, and secondary market. Are we clear with all the topics that we did today? Yes, everyone. Are we clear? Are we clear with all the topics that we have done today? Everybody. The last topic is capital market instrument, which is pretty easy. That we will that I want you to cover from the material, because it is a very 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 fudu topic. The last topic, if you can see, I'll just quickly cover the last topic. Okay. Now, acha, if everything is clear till now, I want you to drop all right in the chat box. If everything is clear till now, are we good till now? Are we good till now? Everybody understood everything till now? I wanted to drop all right in the chat box. Yes, everybody. Payal, Jeevan, Tejaswini, Teju, Rakshita, Pradyumna, Kavya, Mulya. I wanted to drop all right in the chat box. Now, one thing I want to mention. Okay, I'll mention it at the end of the lecture. Now, in the capital market instruments. Okay, in the next topic, capital market instruments. Okay. So, the last topic of this particular chapter number 1, that is capital market instruments. First topic is equity shares and preference shares, which we don't need for revision as this is the easiest topic which we can do on your own. What is equity shares? Basically, it represents the ownership in the company. Equity shares are two types, same voting right and differential voting right, and preference shares are basically which are not equity shares, and in that they get preferential treatment with respect to payment of dividend and repayment of capital. So equity shares and preference shares you can just go through on your own. And the second topic that is there is debentures. Now, what do you mean by debentures? Few points you need to just remember about the debentures, that just like equity shares are equity instruments, same way your debentures are your debt instruments. Okay, they are issued for fixed term, in that company pay interest. So in debentures is kind of a borrowing, so it's a debt instrument, it represents borrowing. These few points you can write if the question comes on debentures. What do you mean by debentures? It represents borrowing. Okay, so debenture are the borrowing of the company, they are the debt instruments. And now there are some types of debentures that you need to do. Is first is CCD, compulsory convertible debentures, which has to be, in which it will be compulsorily convertible into debenture, there is no option. Next is NCD, which is not, sorry, once again, CCD means those debenture which are compulsory convertible into equity shares. NCDs means those debentures which are not convertible into equity shares. Now PCD means partial convertible debentures which are partially convertible into equity shares, means some part will be convertible and some part will be not. And last is optionally fully convertible debentures, means they are optionally convertible, means at the option of share debenture holder, if they want they can convert it into equity shares, if they don't want then no need to convert into equity share. Next topic is your bond. Now, what do you mean by bond? Bond, again, it represents borrowing. It is a debt instrument just like debenture, and it is also for all the same points you can write for bond also. It is issued for fixed term, and in this company pays interest. Companies repay the principal amount also, and companies pay the interest. Very basic points. You can just write it in your own words. Now, the important thing that I want to discuss is types of bonds. Okay, so quickly let's revise types of bonds. The first type of bonds, see, depending on who is issuing the bonds. If government is issuing the bonds, then it is known as government bonds. You can simply write, if the bonds are issued by government, it is known as government bonds. Acha. If the bonds are issued by company, then it is known as corporate bonds, depending on who is issuing. If it is issued by company, then it is known as corporate bonds. If the bonds are issued by banks or financial institution, then it is known as banks or FI bonds. And lastly, if you invest in some bonds, you will get tax benefit, so they are known as tax saver bonds. They are known as tax saver bonds, in which government gives you tax benefit. So there are four types of bonds. If government is issuing the bonds, it's known as government bonds. If companies are issuing bonds, it's corporate bonds. If banks are issuing, then it is banks and FI. And if you are getting tax benefit from the government, then it is known as tax saving bonds. Now, two topics that we have to discuss is FCCB and FCEB, foreign currency convertible bonds and foreign currency exchangeable bonds. Now, first thing, foreign currency convertible bond. Who issue it? Issued by Indian company, of course, issued by Indian company. It's in foreign currency, forex. It's in foreign currency, that is forex. Let's say it is in the form of, for example, dollar. So let's say it is in the form of dollar. Now, foreign currency convertible bonds means when Indian company issues bonds in foreign currency, but which is convertible into equity share of same company, convertible into equity shares of same company, then it is known as foreign currency convertible bond. But if it is convertible into equity shares of any other promoter group company, promoter group company, then it is known as FCB. That's all about FCCB and FCEB. Acha, simply to whom we issue? Issued by Indian company. And one more thing, we issue this to, issued to PROI, PROI. Who issue? Indian company. To whom? Person resident outside India. India के बाहर. Imagine Reliance issuing FCCB, FCEB to Justin Bieber. Okay. Indian company issuing bonds to PROI. Person resident outside India. That is FCCB, FCEB. It is also in foreign currency. It is also in foreign currency. Not in Indian rupees. Foreign currency. The only difference is that FCCB is convertible into equity shares of the same company and FCEB is convertible into equity shares of our holding company, subsidiary company, any group company. Are we clear with this? Are we clear with FCCB and FC? Yes, drop yes, ma'am, in the chat box, everybody. Everyone, yes, drop yes, ma'am, in the chat box. If we are clear with FCCB, FCCB, if we are done with that, then the next topic that we have to do is IDR. What do you mean by IDR? Indian Depository Receipt. Simply, uh, simply imagine this is India. Okay. Now, someone from foreign company, when a foreign company issues shares to an Indian citizen, they issue in the form of IDR. They issue in the form of IDR. So what they do, this foreign company, they, sorry, this foreign company allot shares to foreign custodian, and that then this foreign custodian authorizes Indian depository. Who is Indian depository? Yes, NSDL or CDSL to to create IDR, and then they issue IDR to Indian citizen. So basically, a foreign company, imagine Apple is issuing IDR in India. Let's say a foreign bank, Standard Chartered Bank, a foreign company, banking company, Standard Chartered Bank issuing IDR in India. I am purchasing IDRs of a foreign bank. What is IDR? It represents equity share of foreign company. So just like ADR, JDR, Indian company issuing shares to foreigners in the form of ADR, JDR. Same way, foreign company issuing shares to Indian citizen, it in the form of IDR, that is Indian Depository Receipt. How they do? They give physical shares to foreign custodian. They authorize Indian depository to convert the shares into IDR, and then they issue IDR to Indian citizen. So it's like foreign company issuing shares to Indian citizen in the form of IDR, and this is the process of issuing IDR. So it is instrument. What is IDR? IDR is an instrument which represent equity share of foreign company, which represent equity share of foreign company, which represents equity share of foreign company, and it is denominated in Indian rupees. It is denominated, that's why the name is Indian Depository Receipts. Now it is denominated in Indian rupees. That's all about IDR. The next small topic is warrant. Warrant simply means right to purchase equity shares of company at certain price. What do you mean by warrant? Warrant is not shares, but it is your right to purchase share. Remember in class we discussed movie coupon tickets. I think if you have a coupon to buy two free movie tickets, then those coupons are not movie tickets, but they are the right to buy movie tickets. So what is warrant? It is not share, but it is your right to purchase the equity shares of the company at a certain price. So if you have warrant of Reliance, so it means I have right to purchase certain shares of Reliance at certain price. So warrant are not shares, but they give you right to purchase certain number of shares at a certain price. That's all about warrant. Okay. Acha, next is writ and invit. Writ and invit we will do in the CIS chapter. वैसे तो writ is very important. I'll just give you small hint. What do you mean by writ and invit? REIT means real estate investment trust. InvIT means infrastructure investment trust. This is there in the CIS chapter also. It is a type of CIS. Now, what do you mean by CIS? They collect money from public. REIT, it is a public fund. It is a public fund. It is a public fund. They collect money from lakhs and thousands of public, and then they invest in real estate. They invest in real estate. That is your REIT. Very simple, ma'am. What do you mean by InvIT? They also collect money. They collect money from public, and that money they invest in infrastructure projects. They invest in infrastructure project. That is all about your InvIT. Are we clear with REIT and InvIT? They both are public funds. They both are a type of CIS. They both are public fund. They collect money from public. The only difference is that REIT invest in real estate, InvIT invest in infrastructure. This is known as real estate investment trust. This is known as infrastructure investment trust. I hope we are clear with REIT and InvIT. Are we clear with this? Yes. Acha. Can anyone, my question is, can anyone invest in REIT? Quickly, you have to answer. Question for you, my dear. You have to invest. I told you this is public fund. Hint. Okay. Now tell me, can anyone invest in REIT or InvIT? Or it's a private fund on and only some private individuals can invest? Or can anybody like me and you, can we invest in any REIT and InvIT? Can we invest? Can anyone invest in REIT and InvIT? Question for you. Everybody have to answer in the chat box. Everybody have to answer in the chat box. I want all the people who are watching to answer this question because I want to just you to feel confident. Okay. Can anyone invest in REIT and InvIT? The answer is yes. Yes, Keshav, just few more minutes and we are done. And yes, everybody of you are correct. Priya, Amulya, Ulux, Keshav, that anybody can invest in REIT and InvIT. Why? Because it is a public fund. Now, what are the benefits of REIT and InvIT? Sometimes, why do you invest in like REIT? Why do you invest in real estate through REIT? So, a lot of benefits are there. What are the benefits of investing in REIT and InvIT? Like some of the benefits are, I'll just um, quickly discuss what are the benefits of investing in REIT and InvIT. For example, like you can get tax saving, tax benefit you can get. Okay, you can get large returns. You can get large returns. You can get um, easy to buy. See, if any real estate project is of 1 crore, I don't have 1 crore to invest. It's not easy for me to buy, but it's easy for me to buy REIT and InvIT. I can easily invest in real estate through REIT and InvIT. So it's easy to buy. So these are the benefits of REIT and InvIT. And the last topic, SDIs, it will be covered in the further topics also. Securitized debt instrument. In short, I'll just tell one line about securitized debt instrument. SDIs. What are securitized debt instrument? What is SDI? Basically, in this SDI, banks convert their loan into instrument that is known as SDI. For now, this much is enough. If question comes on what is SDI, you can write this particular things, that whenever banks have any loans or NPAs, they have given any loans which are NPAs, they convert their loans into securities, and those securities are known as SDI, securitized debt instrument. And the last topic of this chapter is municipal bonds. Very easy topic. Municipal bonds. What do you mean by muni bonds? So municipal bonds is a very easy topic. So basically, when municipal corporation, it's a part of government body, it's a government body. When municipal corporation, they need money for long term, they issue bonds to public, they issue bonds to public to raise money from public, to raise money from public in the form of bonds, in the form of bonds, and that is known as muni bonds, and they give interest on this to the public. So what are muni bonds? Muni bonds, municipal bonds, nothing but they are the bonds issued by the municipal corporation when they need money for any project, when they need money for any government project, when they need money for any government project. Example, metro, building metro. Let's say building metro. Example, building metro. So for any of this thing, let's say for building metro, municipal corporation need money, so they can issue bonds for, let's say, 5 years to raise money from the public, and then later after the maturity they will repay the money and we will give them interest. This is known as muni bonds, when municipal corporation issues bonds to the public. And with this we are done with our lesson number 1. With this we are done with our lesson number 1. Please tell me, are we good? Are we confident about lesson number 1? Yes. Yes. Are we confident about lesson number 1? Everybody, I want to see a smiley face made after the end of your lesson number 1. The PDF I'll be sharing in the group, and those who are not a Yeshas student, you can just text me to get the PDF. Yes, everybody. And that's it for today. In order to make the most out of this particular session, it will just take you less than 30 minutes. You just go through the PDF once. I'll share it to you. Just go through the PDF once and try to recall all the topics. Still, if you have any doubt, you can drop it in the Telegram group. If you have any doubt, you can drop it in the Telegram group, or you can text me personally, or you can drop it in the group also if you have any doubt in lesson number 1. With this, we are done with our revision of lesson number 1. From tomorrow, we will be doing our lesson number 2 and 3 and so onwards, and I need you to go through your lessons once before we are doing the revision. It will be more beneficial for you. So let's say tomorrow we are going to do lesson 2, so I need you to go through lesson 2 once before we do the fast revision, so that you will be able to recall all the topics. I hope this all the topics are summarized for you and easy for you. ठीक है. Yes, Akriti, Kiru, Kavya, Priya, Payal, Amulya, Tejaswini, everybody who is still there, drop me a message in the chat box, because you are the real champions, because you are still here after 2 hours 30 minutes. You are 2 hours, yes, you are still here. Are these notes enough to contain main points and key points? Yes. Yes. In this notes, trust me, all the points are included from the examination point of view. I'm the person who don't want to skip the topic, because what if we studied 90 topics from a chapter, skipped one topic, and that one topic come in exam, then what you will do? So it's better to go through all the topics. So these notes are prepared from your study material only, and from your ICSI weightage point of view, ICSI examination point of view. The language is very proper. You can study the same language of the notes. Where is the notes? Okay, I closed it. So the notes that we discussed in this particular class, the same notes you can refer for your revising one day before the examination. You don't need to refer study material if you do lesson number 1 from the short notes. And only this last topics, easy topics, equity share, preference share, that we have done from material. Apart from that, all the difficult topics you can go do only from the short notes. That's enough. If you have studied from the main material earlier once, Now you can only go through the short notes. That is, all the points are included, everything is included. You don't need to revise study material one day before the examination. These short notes are complete from your study material in proper language, and you can fully be reliant on this because I have prepared it from my own hand in my own handwriting. Okay, so I hope it has it took a lot of effort in making the notes and preparing for this particular revision class, and standing here and teaching since last 2.5 hours, for the last 2.5 hours. So I really hope you appreciate this. If you like this particular revision lectures, do share it to all your friends, those who know, who may find this helpful and who are about to give the module to examination. And do let me know for any doubts. You can drop message in the Telegram group. Yes, short notes, short notes will be there for all the lessons. Amulya, any other doubt, guys? Any other doubt? CAFM tax one shot. I don't have expertise in CAFM and tax. I request you to just contact the particular faculty. Yes, but you can make any request regarding CMSL. Yes, any other doubt? Notes will be there for all the lessons and revisions will be there for all the lessons. Okay, so that's it for today. Please do tag me in on your Instagram stories if you really find this session helpful, and I want you to all, just put some fireworks in the chat box. In the chat box before going, just drop some fireworks and some fire in the chat box to just show the enthusiasm that yes, ma'am, lesson one done properly. Yes, everybody. Are we clear with lesson one? I want you to put the fireworks in the chat box to just see your enthusiasm. And yes, yes, everyone, drop fireworks in the chat box. Everybody, drop fireworks in the chat box. Everybody, drop fireworks in the chat box. Yes, I want you all to put fireworks in the chat box. Yes, I want you to put fireworks in the chat box. What are the important points in the chapter? Important points, I would say, private equity is important, rate invit is important, yes, QIB is important, QIB, private equity, uh, venture capital, all these are important, and muni bonds, you can see all these topics are good. Yes, QIBs, anchor investor, you can see all these topics are important. Yes, everybody drop fireworks in the chat box. I'll just take a quick video of yours. Yes, Priya, lesson one done. Amulya, Tejaswini, Kiru, Chandan, Pragna, Jeevan. Yes, Kavya, everybody's so excited, putting a lot of fireworks in the chat box. Vinay, yes, Vinay to is the next level excited. Payal, okay, great. Amulya, everybody's so excited. So we are done with our lesson one revision, and tomorrow I want to see you all for the power pack lesson 2 revision. Are we all coming for the lesson 2 revision? Yes, drop lesson 2 tomorrow in the chat box. Lesson 2, yes, Rakshita, Jeevan, Amulya, everybody. I can see a lot of excitement here. Vidya, Amulya, yes, okay. So drop lesson 2 in the chat box. Teju, Tejaswini, Kiran, yes, drop lesson 2 in the chat box if you want to attend lesson 2 tomorrow. Lesson 2 in the tomorrow session. Are you attending lesson 2 in the tomorrow session? Yes, I can see a lot of lesson 2 tomorrow. Great. Keshav, Vidya, Amulya. Okay, so that's it for today, and we are ending our today's session. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Till then, keep learning, because the more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you grow, the more you achieve. Take care. Bye bye.